Hey guys, Vivobook S15 S532FA review. This is my first Screenpad device. I did not own any of the 1.0 devices, so let's talk about if it makes sense for you. For me, I love this device so far. I did only take delivery of it today, so I haven't had all of the time in the world to play with it that I would have liked to. But for me, I would like to say it is going to work out perfectly. Now, when I'm working, I oftentimes wish that I had a small second screen to put up some type of media or playlist or some kind of YouTube video or something, some other small screen while I'm on the go, working either away from the office or in a customer's a different customer location, wherever, and just oftentimes find myself wishing for that little tiny bit more screen real estate. And for that, I find that it's perfect. I have right here, I have my computer running, just as an example, and the Screenpad is just so it works really well. All the taps are there. It just works really well, and I think its best feature is when you also plug in a mouse. Now, the 3 fingers to switch is nice, but I have a separate mouse running here, or I have a USB mouse running here, and it's just perfect. So I wanted to go through some of the Screenpad features while we take a look at this. There is a brightness setting. My very first video, I had not looked in here yet. I hadn't looked at any of these settings. So you got a background. The background is generic images from Asus are what they give you, but you can set it to anything you want, obviously. Close out of that. There is a battery saver mode. I'm leaving it off for now just to see what it's like. I haven't done any battery rundown tests. It is a 3640 mAh battery, so it should run a sufficient amount of time. There's a resolution selector. The resolution is great. It is 2160 by 1080. That's just fantastic. And the refresh rate, which I find interesting. I don't know why you would need a different refresh rate, but I mean, hey, that's awesome that it's there. I know I believe it's PAL games run at 50 hertz, so hey, that's cool. It's great for them just adding it. And there's a learn more and a quick guide and some other things. The applications that companies are going to use or design around Screenpad are really going to make or break this application for, I think, most users. But if you're looking for something that is somewhat powerful, can somewhat game, I will do specific games, take requests for them in other videos, not really throttle. I didn't see any throttling during my benchmarking or tests, and have a pretty good second screen. It's very bright. It's touch responsive. It feels good. It hasn't given me any issues. I know some people that bought the Screenpad 1.0 had issues basically straight out of the box. This has been pretty solid so far. You also have F6 up here. You can turn it on, off, disable it. You can switch it any way you want, really. And just it's fantastic for what I'm going to use it for. If I need to pull something up, a document, or if I need to reference something quickly down bottom, I can keep that open while I keep working above. Putting media down there will just be fantastic. And then the other nifty feature that it has is the ability to open multiple apps at once. So much like an Android phone, you can kind of select more than one and swap between them. Now, again, will this be for everybody? Probably not. Some people have complained already, oh, you can't see it when you're laying down in bed. I generally, if I'm laying down and working, have propped my knees up anyway, to where I'm, my knees are up and my back is flat, so it's kind of propped up anyway. I would definitely be able to see it in that scenario, the second screen, but honestly, that's such a weird case. Do the people that are interested in this just want to trash it out for that reason, or are they, is that a legitimate concern? I don't know, but I do think that you're going to need to make the most of that bottom screen at all times. You're going to want to have a mouse. The 3-finger gesture is nice, but it's not perfect, and you're just going to want to have that external mouse connected to really take advantage of it. It's easier to drag and throw images into that, or applications into that window, especially because you'll notice how wide the screen pad is, which is great when you're looking at say a web page or something. If you pull a web page down there, which we can show you what that looks like. Now that's fantastic if you're looking at something in the screen pad. So that's in the screen pad, and your main browser is free to do whatever. Now let's say we check out Liliputing. It's fantastic if you're reading something, or if you want to like quietly look at something, or use some kind of media function down there, or just reference something quickly. But it's very bad if you're trying to use it as the trackpad at the same time. Well, I wouldn't say very bad, but it's not perfect if you're trying to use it. So I'll do the 3-finger press, and the 3-finger press will allow me to mouse. Now, if, for instance, you try to pull this app out of there, right, you'll notice that since it's so much wider than it is taller, you'll run out of space quickly as you're using it to pull and push apps in and out of the screen pad itself. That's a minor complaint, very minor complaint. Otherwise, it's working great as intended. The resolution is very high. Obviously, this is an ad right here, but the resolution is very high. The screen is very responsive. It's very clean. It's quick. It basically acts as you would expect on a smartphone. If you scroll, it scrolls. There's no delay. The screen is very responsive to touch, and dragging in and out is extremely easy, especially if you're using an external mouse. I really enjoy the device so far. Now again, if you're buying this and you're expecting this to turn into your gaming machine, don't do that. Don't assume that this thing is, super powerful. Sure, it's got an MX250 in there, and that's nice, and it'll tide you over some while you're on the go, and it may play, the casual game, ROMs, emulators, things of that nature. But it is a quirky device, and it is unique in that respect, but it's definitely not for gaming. I wouldn't recommend buying this just specifically to game. I have a review of a 2060, very similar to the one that Jared's Tech did, except it has the 9th gen Intel i7 coming next Wednesday, which I will be showcasing. I also have a review of the Everkey backpack, the one that fits the 18.4 inch laptop. I'm sorry, the name's escaping me right now, which I'm going to showcase what I kind of bring with me for work. So I do bring the 2060 laptop with me, and I'm also going to be bringing this thing, and my third device is a Surface Go, which I'll showcase, all three of them, why each one of those devices belongs in that bag, and what their perfect use case is for. So that being said, this was a little mini review of the screen pad itself. I think it's perfect, and I definitely recommend it if you know that you have a reason to have a second screen built into your laptop, and you want the functionality of a second screen or possibly even a touch pad. I also purchased a Wacom pen that's being shipped to me, so I'm going to test if the bottom screen is Wacom or Asus pen enabled. I know that some of the UX or ZenBook UX, I think it's the 331, are pen enabled, so keep on the lookout for that. But otherwise, yeah, I think this is a great device. And again, if you have some use for this, 5.7, let's just call it 5.7, I think it's 5.65, but 5.7 inch screen in the bottom of your laptop, then yeah, it's gonna be perfect. It's gonna work out well, as long as you have the expectations that go along with a 5.7 inch touchscreen device. So you can't imagine that you're going to be playing, Battlefield 5 or Battlefield with ray tracing and all that stuff, and it's just not going to happen. So if you temper your expectations accordingly and use it for its intended purpose, me personally, like I said, it's going to make work a lot easier to have that extra little bit of screen real estate down bottom, and to possibly, I hadn't tried this yet, but I'm glad that I'm trying it now so that everyone can see. You are able to split the screen, just as you would on a regular Windows. On a regular Windows, just pulling and dragging to the left and right of that screen will give you a split in down there. So you are actually able to get 4 fully split windows on this device. But yeah, I think it's fantastic. Give me anything in the questions, comments, all sorts of stuff. Please let me know if there's anything you want to see benchmarked or run, or specific games. I have quite a bit on my Steam account, and I have a decent amount on EA account. So please let me know and see what you'd like me to run and test and play with this thing, because as far as I know, it's the only review so far of the Screenpad 2, or I'm the only person that has one outside of controlled demos at CES. So yeah, thanks for watching, and hope to see you guys again soon for the Clevo 2060 review.